Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am very excited to do this video today. I am doing the eyeshadow palette tag video that was done by Samantha March and Allie Glines. They are two of my absolute favorite YouTubers. I love watching their videos. They're both like chill, and Samantha's really funny and a little bit quirky, and Allie is just like super like classy and calming, and so I just love watching both of those women. And they did this palette tag about a week ago now, and it has all these questions, and so I have Samantha's video pulled up here, so I just have the questions in front of me, and I'll list them down below. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 questions, and I'm going to add one at the end, my own little twist. So stay to the end of the video to see what I add. Let's just get started. I'm so excited. I have everything laid out in front of me. I really took a few days to think through my collection and really think through the questions. So I'm trying to give you my best answers that I can give. So the first one is an easy one. It is show your newest palette. And my newest palette is the Sigma Cor de Rosa palette. Y'all, I think people are sleeping on this palette, and I've said that before, and I'm going to say it again. This is a gorgeous palette. It's $49. You can get it from the Sigma website. There's plenty of people who have Sigma codes. In fact, I think Samantha is one of them. I'm not sure. Different people have different codes, so search around a little bit. There's a ton of Sigma affiliates on YouTube. I know that like that girl Shay, I'm pretty sure she's a Sigma affiliate. I'm not sure who else anymore, but so you might be able to get 10%, you might be able to get 30%. I'm not sure how that's going anymore, but here it is. So it's $49, but with that percentage off, you can get it down. I unfortunately paid full price because I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking about codes and stuff, so anyway, here is a look at the palette. It has these gorgeous, warm, peachy, peanut buttery tones, and then some really nice, like, warm, kind of maroony purple tones, that hot pink, really pretty gold, this deep dark brown. It's just such a pretty palette. The quality is amazing. The only thing I don't like, and you guys, I feel like I'm in such the minority on this, I don't like this brush, particularly this end here, the blendy end. It's just like, I don't know. I tried to start using it and the eyeshadow was kind of going on patchy, and so I switched to different brushes that I'm used to using, and maybe it's just me, because everybody who talks about this palette is like, oh, and you get a Sigma brush, and Sigma brushes are so amazing, and I'm sure they are, but I don't know, I've got to wonder if this just isn't quite the same quality as their actual brush line, because they knew they were putting it in the palettes. What I do appreciate about the brush, though, is that they color coordinated it with the palette. I think that's really cute. Also, I feel like Sigma really didn't do themselves any favors with the marketing photos on this. I just thought that they looked way orange, way more orange than the palette actually is. And so in person, it's such a gorgeous palette. Here's the back. Kind of reminds me of an ABH palette, to be honest with you, that long rectangular palette. But this is cardboard, so it's not going to get all dirty and grungy like the ABH palettes do. So I can't say enough. I just think that This is an incredible palette going into spring and summer. And, you know, if you have the means and are looking to buy a new palette, I really think that this would be a good one to buy. Okay, one down. Okay, the next question is quite easy for me too, because it is show your oldest palette, and I still have my very first palette that I purchased. It's got to be like at least 10 years ago. Can you guess what it is? Yes, it is. This is the original OG Urban Decay Naked palette. It has that felt packaging like the ABH palettes does. I just realized that. This also, I think, this might have come with an eyeliner. Back in the day, I think they did eyeliners with the palettes. Honestly, you guys, it's not even that used, because once Urban Decay put out this palette, I feel like the makeup industry really started changing. And also at this time, I was super into MAC. So I was buying all the MAC single shadows and using those a ton. And so, yeah, I mean, I can definitely see dips in this palette, but nowhere near what it should be, in all honesty. You guys, look at this little tiny mirror too. Like, packaging has just gotten so much better. I mean, it's not bad. You can use it if you need to. I mean, don't use this palette. Although I did recently do a video using this palette just because I was like, oh, I should use all my oldest makeup. And I did. And you know what? I didn't break out. Nothing smelled off. But it's probably not the best idea that I've ever had. But it was fun. And I created a really pretty look using this palette that you can no longer purchase. Although they have done the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. You know, this palette, in all honesty, comes off pretty cool toned in my opinion. And I think it just wasn't my favorite by any means. And the Naked Reloaded definitely looks like it looks a little warmer. I have not picked that one up. The last Urban Decay palette I bought was Born to Run. It's just kind of one of those brands that I honestly kind of got bored with. And I feel so bad saying that, because Urban Decay, like back in the day, I was like buying the Vice palettes. I have all the Naked palettes. Well, not all of them. I have 1, 2, and 3. And then I kind of quit because I was like, it was like Naked Cherry and, you know, they have Naked Honey, and now they have Naked Reloaded. And the makeup biz has gotten so good that I just felt like I found other brands that I liked their quality just a bit more than Urban Decay. It's totally just personal preference. I know Urban Decay is still like a hot selling item. So anyway, that was my oldest palette. The next is show your most expensive palette. My most expensive palette is from, yes, the mother, Pat McGrath. And I think it's actually this palette because I can't remember if it's this one or the one that has the purple and green and that one. But one of these, there was a whole fiasco with Pat McGrath and a release that happened. And it was on Selfridges and it got released early. I can't remember which one it is now. It got released early, and so a couple people got it early on YouTube and then uploaded, and I don't know what really happened. It's been a while now, but I definitely ordered a palette from Selfridges, and so I had to pay $30 in shipping. I think it was this one, but I can't remember for sure. So whichever one, as long as it's this one, then that is the most expensive, because these bad boys will set you back $125. Now, Pat does do like 25% off sales on her website. Seems like kind of seasonally. Let's just take a look at this gorgeous palette. Now this is also, they should have had a category for heaviest palette because by far Pat McGrath could win. This is so heavy. It's so heavy that you wouldn't think that it would be a problem, because I do my makeup a lot of times like this where I'll hold the palette, especially my eye makeup, and I'll hold the palette. Not with Pat McGrath. It gets too heavy and my wrist starts to hurt. But this one is just such a nice dusty rose, kind of a bit of a mix of cooler tones and, you know, warmer tone, because you got that pop of gold there, but then you kind of have these cooler purples. This is what's on my eyes today. I pulled this one out specifically to use it because if y'all haven't seen, Mother Pat made an announcement that she's coming out with Divine Rose 2. Y'all, she loves to tease her fans because we don't know when it's coming out yet. It just says coming soon, but we've gotten all these like Instagram posts, and you know, if you follow Pat, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm pretty much stalking her social media just so I can keep up to date with when that release is happening. So if you happen to know, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below, because even like my favorite YouTubers who do a lot of Pat stuff, like Morgan Turner Makeup, Kinky Sweat, there's that whole crew that just did the Pat McGrath stuff, Kelsey Brianna J, and Mel Thompson, and then who's that other? I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. They did a whole Pat McGrath series that was pretty cool. And I haven't seen any of them say like when the release is or anything like that. So I don't think anybody really knows except for probably the mother herself. So anyway, getting a Pat palette, one of these big 10-pan ones too, is like getting a work of art. I don't often keep my outer boxes anymore, but Pat's I will never throw away because this is gorgeous. I mean, come on. It's just so beautiful. So definitely most expensive, and I definitely have a few of those 10-pan palettes. So okay, now for my most affordable palettes. I don't know if these really classify as palettes. They're really more of quads, but you know, I just picked up these e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow quads palettes. These are $3 each, and I have lots of thoughts on these that I'm not going to go into in this video. But yeah, I'll just say I wouldn't pay more than $3 for them, having used them a few times. But, you know, it's a good option from the drugstore, okay? I'll say that, but I'm going to leave more of my thoughts for another time. So total, this is $9. You buy them individually, they're $3. Okay? Okay, my everyday palettes. Honestly, you guys, I have so many eyeshadow palettes. It's my favorite thing to purchase. It's my favorite thing to talk about. I love talking about eyeshadow palettes and playing with eyeshadow palettes. I think it's like the most transformational part when you just really like, I love eyes. So anything that's going to like enhance eyes, I think is so cool. So yeah, eyeshadow palettes are my jam. So it's hard for me to narrow it down to like an everyday eyeshadow palette, but one that I've been loving lately that I pulled out again this week after having used it about a month ago and then put it away and then pulled it back out because it's like, you know, I want to give that another try. And I was like, oh, why am I not using this every day? And it is this little lady right here. This is the Viseart Paris Edit palette. Look how cute this opens up. Now these are pretty small, but how pretty is that palette? I have just discovered this week too that I really like pairing this like mauve crease shade with this gray. It makes like this really interesting deeper purple toned shade, and it's super pretty. I worn that a couple times this week, and then I put on the pat, and so now I'm like, these two are having a battle as to what I'm gonna wear tomorrow because I really like them both. Anyway, yeah, the Viseart Paris Edit, I think that one was $40. Pretty sure I got it off of Beautylish because it was sold out on Sephora when I decided, after everybody and their dog had talked about it, that, well, I want that palette too. I wasn't going to buy it, and then I saw all these looks, and I was weak, y'all. Telling you, eyeshadow palettes are my weakness. Okay, so next up we have show your most colorful palettes. Hands down, it's my palettes from Pinky Rose Cosmetics. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up and just show you really quick. This is 80s Baby. I mean, look at that. So colorful. This is Bright Lights. Oh, it's like a rainbow on your face. This one is Obsessed. These are so unique too, like the color schemes. I mean, look at that. That like minty shade there, and then like a kind of a mauve brown. So pretty. And then this one is Exotic Peacock. Ooh, Exotic Peacock. Lots of teals and purples and greens. So pretty. Yeah, those are by far, I mean, I guess my Juvia's Place palettes too. But, you know, everybody talks about Juvia's Place pretty much. And not a lot of people talk about Pinky Rose Cosmetics. And honestly, I don't use a ton of colorful eyeshadow anymore. I went through a phase probably like last winter. Not that just this past winter, but the winter before. And I was like, give me all the color. And so I bought all these Pinky Rose palettes. I bought some Juvia's Place palettes. I bought from Blush Tribe, which they went out of business. But just some really, really pretty colorful palettes. And I don't regret it. I love that I can have them in my collection and I can go to them if I want to. I just typically tend to not to anymore. I tend not to anymore. But there for a while, I was wearing some pretty colorful looks. Okay. The next one is show your smallest palette. Now, I probably could have gone with the e.l.f., but since I already talked about those, this is probably my smallest palette. I mean, look at that. This is the Viseart Petite Pro 3. I got this in the Sephora sale. I absolutely love it. It's got these pretty greens, this purple, just such a good color combo, particularly for brown-eyed babes out there. It's just so, so pretty. I'm so glad I decided to pick it up. I think I heard Emily Noel talk about it, and I was like, yeah, yep, I'm going to do it. I think this one was $30, something like that. Look at how small it is. It's like the size of a credit card. I mean, it's thicker, of course, but I wonder if I could charge something to this. Just kidding. That wasn't funny, Allison. Okay. Okay, then we did smallest. Now it's show us your biggest palettes. My biggest palettes, I think, are these BH Cosmetics, the Zodiac, and then the Zodiac Love Signs. You guys, I'm terrible. I barely have used these, but again, I think I'm so influenced by YouTube. Probably Lip Gloss Leslie. She's another one of my faves. Saw her talk about these, and I was like, yeah, I think I need that. So it can just sit in my collection and I'll never use it. But here's a look at them. These palettes are pretty inexpensive. I think maybe are they like $20? Something like that. It's a good price. And you know, BH Cosmetics is actually pretty good quality, especially for the price. So yeah. I mean, I'm glad I have them. I could reference them if I ever want to reference them. I don't know if I ever will, but you know, I've not done declutters ever on my channel, and after seeing this palette video and being able to pull out that Urban Decay Naked palette, I don't think I'll ever declutter. I mean, maybe when I'm like, if I get to be like 80, maybe then will be the time, but certainly not anytime soon. I'm not going to be decluttering my eyeshadow palettes unless there's like a strong reason. Like I do have some palettes that I have decluttered that are in a bag in my other room. Mostly they're Kat Von D palettes because
oh man, are you gonna get political? Okay, vaccinate your kids. Vaccinate yourself, people.
Anyway, so I am decluttering those palettes. I haven't really done anything with them. I don't know what to do with them. I feel super guilty just throwing them away, but at the same time, I'm like... Anyway, okay. Wow, I really went off on a tangent there. Okay, my palette, the next one is show your palette with the best memory. You guys, I had to go on a hunt for this palette because I have my makeup stored like over here, and I have just, it's not fancy, trust me. I'll show you sometime. I think I've showed you before in maybe a vlog recently, but I have just like, what do you call those? Just like plastic drawers. And I have what I call my top shelf drawer. And that has all my like Pat McGrath, my ABH, my Huda palettes, like my top shelf palettes, like my favorite palettes. The next drawer I have organized it as like YouTuber turned makeup people. So like I have some old Tanya Burr in there. You guys remember Tanya Burr? She was part of that vlog squad. I think she's just acting now. I don't think she even has her makeup company anymore. But I definitely had some stuff from her. Just other like collaborations. I have a bunch of Jeffree Star palettes that I'm not really going to talk about on my channel anymore. And I had one from Kim Kardashian, and you guys, I feel like a lot of people like kind of hated on this palette just because it's so neutral, but it's the KKW times Mario. This one, I don't even think they make it anymore, but I loved this palette. I wore this palette to a friend's wedding a couple of years ago, and I just remember I took a picture with my husband and I just felt so pretty. And this is the palette I wore. I love wearing this like deep eggplanty color on my bottom lash line. It really makes my brown eyes pop. And I just think it's a really, really nice everyday palette. And I just, you know, obviously it was fun seeing my friend get married and all of that stuff. And so yeah. But I literally had to hunt for this. I couldn't find it. I went all through my drawers, and then I was like, I have to step away. And I came back, and sure enough, opened that second drawer and found it within like 5 seconds. I don't know what that's about. Show a palette worth the hype. All right, you guys, I've mentioned ABH a ton of times already, and so, of course, it's the modern renaissance. I think a lot of people have said this as I've been watching other people's. She dirty, and I hate that, but I've also used it quite a bit. I've hit pan on a couple different shades. I mean, check that out. That's impressive, right? I mean, what more can I say? This is just kind of the palette that started the whole berry pink and like kind of transitioned neutral makeup into like more of that pinkier makeup versus just brown shades. And so, yeah. Hats off to ABH for doing that. This is just a great palette, and I don't use it all that often anymore. But yeah. Okay. we got to move along. Okay, so that palette, yeah, I just really feel like it is worth the hype. I mean, the pigmentation is so good. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? The mattes are blendable. It's just, they're good stuff. Okay, show a palette not worth the hype. Y'all, I can't believe I have a little black spot on my shirt. Ugh. Anyway, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I mean, I can because I'm going to say it, but there's a particular higher end to luxury brand that I don't have a ton of stuff from. I actually only have 2 palettes. The one is really great. The other one, I'm just like, it's fine. It's okay. It's just like, it didn't knock my socks off like I wanted it to. And I think there's probably other palettes in this line that might, especially the gold palette. But honestly, it's a Natasha Denona Love palette. Now, I feel like this got talked about quite a bit when it came out. And the reason I'm picking this one is for not the hype, because maybe it's not the absolutely most hyped palette in her collection, but Natasha Denona is hyped, and I don't know if it's worth it, you guys. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, Pat McGrath has that really, really special shade like that, or the special eyeshadows that are super glittery and just amazing. I have not experienced that with Natasha Denona. I mean, they're fine shadows, but there's nothing like extra special about them. And I think this palette was like $129 or something like that. I mean, come on. I mean, it's pretty. Honestly, I think it's prettier to look at than it is to use. And I got totally sucked in, and I had said for the longest time I actually wasn't going to buy Natasha Denona palettes because my loyalties were with Pat McGrath. And then I went and I bought this one. And then I have this little guy. This is fantastic. If you can get your hands on this, well worth it. 25 bucks. This, meh. I mean, that's the thing. Like, some people are like total stans for Natasha Denona. Guess I'm not one of them. So, okay. Show your favorite palette from a favorite brand. Okay. I'm showing a favorite palette from a favorite brand because there's several that I like from this brand a lot. But one of my favorite brands is Huda Beauty, and I absolutely love the Mercury Retrograde palette. Retrograde palette. This palette is gorgeous. The packaging is gorgeous. It's gorgeous to look at. It's gorgeous to put on your eyeballs. Everything about this is amazing. I love the mattes. They blend out so easily for me. The shimmer shades are super sparkly, and they have these just gorgeous little micro sparkly bits in them that I don't know how else to describe it. I love Huda. Love Huda. Oh, I think I skipped one. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. I got confused there for a second. I'm just going to throw this one in there because this is one of my favorite eyeshadow companies, and I haven't used any of their palettes, and I love their palettes. So I'd actually picked out this Sweet Nothings palette from ColourPop when I couldn't find, I was trying to decide what my everyday palette would be, and I really love this palette for an everyday look. It's neutral, but it's got that pop of purple in there, and I just love, love, love that. I don't know if they make this palette anymore, the Sweet Nothings palette, but this would definitely be an everyday palette I would go and grab. But again, like I said, I have so many palettes. I'm constantly like switching through them, changing them up, using different things. Hi, Maezie. Hi, Maezie. So yeah, I just had to throw that one in there too. And then finally, the question that I'm going to add is the palette you thought you had to have and you've never used. Okay. This is the palette I thought I had to have, and I've never used it, not once since I got it. And I didn't get it all that long ago. I got it on sale, and I just wanted it so bad because there was so much freaking hype about this palette and so much controversy. Can you guess which one I'm talking about? It's the ABH subculture. I mean, I think this is the newer formula. I don't know. I couldn't honestly tell you. But gosh, did people go nuts about this palette. I mean, some people loved it. Most people ripped it apart, said how awful it was. I can't tell you because I thought I had to have it when it was on sale, and I've never used it. I think it's actually going to be a really good fall palette, so I don't want to wish away summer, but come fall, maybe I'll actually get some use out of that palette. All right, you guys, this is it. I feel like I talked so much, but I really had a fun time just rattling on about all of these palettes. This was so much fun. So thank you, Samantha and Allie, for giving us all the inspiration, because I know a ton of people have done this video now. Thank you so much. You two are wonderful. If you ever happen to actually see this video, love to you both, health to you both. And remember, guys, stay safe. Take care of yourself, take care of one another. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video.